Bara Miner charged with attempted murder. Burnett Daniels, a 28-year-old miner from Agatash village, Bartica, was charged today with the offense of attempted murder. The charge stems from an incident that occurred on October 4, 2024, at Dog Point, Bartica, Essequibo River, where Daniels is accused of attempting to murder Leroy Gabon, known as Cookie. Daniels appeared before Magistrate Tariq Muhammad at the Bartica Magistrates Court, where the charge was read to him. He was not required to enter a plea, and the matter was subsequently adjourned to December 19, 2024, for further proceedings. Daniels was remanded to prison. The case is being closely monitored, and authorities have assured that all necessary steps will be taken to ensure justice is served. For further inquiries, please contact the Office of the Guyana Police Force or the Bartica Magistrates Court. For charged with murder of chainsaw operator Davanan Hosea, including 2 teenagers. 4 individuals, including 2 16-year-old juveniles, were formally charged today for the murder of 40-year-old chainsaw operator Davanan Hosea, which occurred on November 17, 2024. Javon Grandstewart, 24, and Rodwell Fraser, 21, both construction workers from Victory Valley, Timeri, along with 2 juveniles, appeared before Principal Magistrate Judy Latchman at the Diamond Magistrates Court No. 2. The accused were not required to enter a plea to the indictable charge. The court ordered that the 2 juveniles be remanded to the holding center, while Grandstewart and Fraser were remanded to prison. The case has been adjourned to January 15, 2025, for further reporting. The charges stem from the alleged murder of Davanan Hosea, whose death has shocked the local community. Law enforcement officials have worked diligently to bring the accused to justice and ensure a fair legal process. Rohan Narin found not guilty of rape charge by Essequibo jury. Kaider News, a jury has found 52-year-old businessman Rohan Narin not guilty of rape after deliberating for less than an hour in a case heard at the Essequibo Supreme Court Judicature. The charge stemmed from allegations of sexual misconduct against a female from the Essequibo Coast, Region 2. Represented by attorney Bernard da Silva, Narine, of Cullen Public Road, Essequibo Coast, appeared before Justice Peter Hugh. The 2-day trial concluded with the jury delivering a unanimous verdict of not guilty, leading to the dismissal of the charges. Speaking after the verdict, Narine's attorney, Bernard da Silva, stated, "The jury took less than an hour to return a unanimous verdict of not guilty. This outcome ensures that all charges against Narine will be formally dropped. The case underscores the importance of due process and the role of the judiciary in ensuring fair trials based on evidence and the rule of law." Murder suspect arrested in Agatash village, firearms and ammunition seized. Acting on intelligence, police ranks from Regional Police Division No. 7, led by Senior Superintendent and Commander Dion Moore, conducted a successful operation in Agatash village, Bartica, resulting in the arrest of a murder suspect and the discovery of 3 unlicensed shotguns and ammunition. The operation, executed at approximately 11:04 HRS today, targeted the residence of Frederick Singh, a 71-year-old farmer of Agatash village. Upon arrival, officers apprehended Himraj James, also known as Ricky or Salmon, a 55-year-old chainsaw operator wanted in connection with a murder that occurred on October 14, 2023, at Granny Landing, Omai Backdam. Under caution, James admitted to his involvement in the altercation that led to the death of Perry Budrum, confirming that he inflicted fatal injuries during the incident. Subsequent searches of Singh's residence uncovered 1 16-gauge shotgun, 2 12-gauge shotguns, 6 12-gauge cartridges. When questioned, Singh admitted to owning the firearms and ammunition, claiming they were used for hunting purposes. He was cautioned and arrested for possession of unlicensed firearms and ammunition. Both suspects and the seized items were transported to the Bartica police station. They are currently in custody and assisting law enforcement with ongoing investigations. Commander Moore commended the ranks for their swift and effective actions in executing the operation and reaffirmed the Guyana Police Force's commitment to upholding public safety and ensuring accountability under the law. Starlink seeks license to provide internet services in Guyana. Starlink, the satellite internet service operated by SpaceX, has formally expressed its interest in securing a license to operate in Guyana, Vice President Dr. Barrett Jago announced during his weekly press conference on Thursday. Starlink, a subsidiary of SpaceX founded by tech innovator Elon Musk, operates a satellite internet constellation aimed at delivering high-speed internet connectivity worldwide, including to remote and underserved areas. Dr. Jagdeo disclosed that the government of Guyana is actively reviewing Starlink's application. If approved, Starlink would be required to adhere to national regulations, including the payment of taxes, creating a level playing field in the telecommunications sector. Currently, Some private individuals import Starlink equipment independently and provide internet services, primarily in hinterland communities. The vice president noted that this practice bypasses the taxation requirements placed on other service providers, creating an imbalance in the market. This practice is unfair to other companies operating under the regulatory framework and paying their dues, Dr. Jagdeo stated. Starlink's interest aligns with discussions held between President Dr. Irfan Ali and SpaceX founder Elon Musk earlier this year. That meeting focused on fostering technological innovation and exploring opportunities to further Guyana's economic growth. The vice president emphasized that granting a license to Starlink would open new possibilities for bridging the digital divide in Guyana, particularly in remote regions, while ensuring compliance with local laws. The government continues its efforts to expand access to reliable and affordable internet services nationwide. Starlink's potential entry into the market could significantly enhance connectivity in underserved areas, supporting Guyana's ongoing digital transformation and innovation goals. Further updates on the licensing process will be provided as discussions progress. Government condemns opposition's Baseless, Mischievous Misinformation campaign on $100,000 cash grant. The government of Guyana unequivocally denounces the disinformation campaign by the People's National Congress Reform, PNC/R, and the Working People's Alliance, WPA, regarding the $100,000 cash grant initiative. The baseless claims surrounding the registration process are irresponsible attempts to undermine a program designed to provide financial relief to every Guyanese citizen aged 18 and older. Opposition groups have falsely alleged that registrants are being interrogated about their voting history and claimed that the initiative is a strategy to collect data for election rigging in 2025. These allegations are entirely unfounded and aimed at sowing distrust and confusion among citizens. This initiative is a transparent, equitable program that benefits all Guyanese, regardless of political affiliation, the government stated. The opposition's divisive and fear-mongering tactics represent a blatant disservice to the people they claim to represent. To maintain the integrity of the cash grant program, the government has implemented strict registration procedures. Valid identification required. Applicants must present a valid national identification card or passport. Photocopies are not accepted. Physical presence verification. A photo of the applicant and their ID or passport will be taken during registration to confirm eligibility and ensure the individual collecting the grant is the same person who registered. One-time collection rule. Each eligible citizen can register and receive the grant only once. Any attempt to defraud the system will lead to serious legal consequences. The government cautions citizens against following the opposition's deceptive advice, which encourages individuals to provide only their ID number during registration. Such actions will result in disqualification from the program. The government remains resolute in its mission to deliver meaningful financial relief to all eligible citizens. This program is for the people, and we will not allow political opportunism or deceit to derail it, the statement concluded. Citizens are urged to rely on accurate information and support efforts to ensure the success of the $100,000 cash grant initiative. Vice President Barrett Jagdeo calls for severe penalties for businesses tampering with expiry dates on products. Vice President Dr. Barrett Jagdeo has strongly condemned the unethical and dangerous practice of tampering with expiry dates on consumer products. Addressing this critical issue during his weekly press conference on Thursday, Dr. Jagdeo called for severe penalties for businesses found engaging in such actions, emphasizing the risks they pose to public health and safety. They're putting at risk the people of this country, children and everyone, the vice president stated firmly. Dr. Jagdeo highlighted a personal experience involving an expired beverage that appeared to have a valid one-year shelf life. Upon investigation by the Government Analyst Food and Drug Department, GAFDD, it was revealed that the packaging had been tampered with by a company on the east coast of Demerara. "This is intolerable and unconscionable," he said. "Those responsible must face severe penalties. This type of behavior cannot be allowed to persist." The Georgetown Chamber of Commerce and Industry, GCCI, recently raised similar concerns, noting an increase in counterfeit, expired, and mislabeled goods on the market. Such violations not only breach lawful standards but also pose significant health hazards to consumers. The vice president underscored the need for heightened scrutiny and effective enforcement by agencies responsible for monitoring, including the Customs, Excise, and Trade Operations of the Guyana Revenue Authority, GRA, and the GAFDD. He expressed concerns about potential corruption or weaknesses in the current monitoring systems. "It seems as though some people are turning a blind eye to this, or there may be corruption involved, or weaknesses in monitoring," he noted. Dr. Jagdeo called on regulatory authorities to intensify their efforts to identify and remove non-compliant products from the market, ensuring consumer safety. He also echoed the GCCI's call for stricter regulatory enforcement to prevent the sale of counterfeit and expired goods. This is a matter of public safety and trust. The government will not tolerate actions that endanger our citizens, the Vice President concluded. The government of Guyana remains committed to safeguarding the health and well-being of its people and will work diligently to hold violators accountable. President Ali orders immediate crackdown on unauthorized use of sirens and flashing lights. President Dr. Irfan Ali has issued a stern directive for the immediate removal of unauthorized sirens and flashing lights from civilian vehicles, emphasizing the need to curb their misuse. Amid growing complaints of abuse, particularly by private vehicle owners using these emergency tools to bypass traffic, the President made it clear that such actions will no longer be tolerated. If you have sirens and emergency lights illegally on your vehicle, I am asking you to remove them immediately. We are seeing tremendous abuse, President Ali said during a live broadcast Thursday. The announcement was made in the presence of top law enforcement officials, including Acting Commissioner of Police Clifton Hicken, as part of a broader strategy to address reckless road behavior and enforce traffic laws. Amendments to the law. To address this issue, President Ali revealed discussions with Attorney General Anil Nandlal to amend existing laws. These changes will introduce fines and the suspension of driver's licenses for those caught using unauthorized sirens or lights. Additionally, security companies found abusing their authorized use of these tools will face severe consequences, including the revocation of their licenses and confiscation of equipment. Retailers selling these devices without proper authorization will also be subjected to stringent monitoring and penalties. Under current law, only the police force, fire service, and ambulances are permitted to use sirens and flashing lights. Acting Commissioner Hicken reaffirmed this, warning that violations will result in strict enforcement. The use of police sirens and lights by unauthorized vehicles is a no-no. Fire service and police, only these two entities are allowed. If you are held, there will be consequences, Hicken declared. Traffic Chief Senior Superintendent Mahendra Singh echoed this, urging vehicle owners to comply immediately. Private vehicle owners, especially SUVs, outfitted with sirens and flashing lights must remove them. Our ranks will enforce the law rigorously, and violators will face penalties. Deputy Commissioner, AG, Operations, Errol Watts confirmed that regional commanders and traffic officers will intensify efforts to ensure compliance across the country. President Ali's commitment to road safety. This crackdown follows a similar directive from President Ali in November 2022, aimed at curbing the illegal use of emergency lights by both civilians and public officials. The era of reckless use of emergency lights is over. Start stripping them off now, or be prepared to face the consequences, President Ali warned. The government remains committed to ensuring road safety, with decisive measures to address traffic violations and restore discipline on the nation's roadways. President Ali announces comprehensive measures to tackle road carnage. Newsroom. In response to the alarming rise in road accidents and fatalities, President Dr. Irfan Ali has unveiled a series of robust measures aimed at improving road safety and holding reckless drivers accountable. These initiatives, announced during a live broadcast on Thursday, include mandatory use of body cameras by police officers, stricter penalties for traffic violations, and expanded surveillance through the Safe City CCTV system. Enhanced accountability and technology integration. President Ali emphasized the urgent need to close gaps in existing traffic laws. Key measures include mandatory body cameras for traffic ranks. To ensure transparency and accountability, traffic police will be equipped with body cameras to capture video evidence during enforcement activities. Expanded CCTV surveillance. The Safe City initiative will be scaled up nationwide, with additional cameras installed along major roadways to monitor and penalize errant drivers. Stricter enforcement of traffic laws. The President highlighted that while the law provides for the suspension of licenses, enforcement has been lacking. Only 18 licenses have been suspended this year despite a growing number of violations. Moving forward, licenses will be suspended for breaches of traffic laws, with a focus on reckless truck drivers and those exceeding speed limits. Attorney General Anil Nandlal, SC, further announced that a stringent regime for truck drivers will be introduced. This includes speed limits tied to the weight of trucks, designation of specific roadways for heavy vehicles, enhanced penalties for violations, addressing dangerous driving behaviors. President Ali identified speeding and driving under the influence of alcohol as leading causes of road accidents. To address this, the government will strictly enforce the Intoxicating Liquor Licensing Amendment Act of 2022, which prohibits bars from serving alcohol to drivers. Bars found in violation may face suspension of their licenses. Raising awareness and encouraging responsibility. To promote safer driving practices, digital advisory boards will be installed along highways to remind drivers of speed limits and traffic rules. President Ali called on all citizens to act responsibly, stating, "We must save lives by addressing the indiscipline and recklessness on our roadways. These actions are necessary to protect the lives of all road users." Road safety, a national priority. With 104 fatal accidents and 117 deaths reported so far in 2024, the President declared that immediate and decisive action is required. The government is committed to using technology, strict enforcement, and public education to mitigate this crisis and create safer roadways for all Guyanese.